Welcome to the Deep Dive. We are your guides to, well, the most useful bits hidden in your source material. And today, look, we're not digging into huge policy shifts or, obscure historical facts.
No, not this time.
We are focused purely on fluency. We're basically giving you 4 linguistic cheat codes.
I like that. Cheat codes.
Yeah. 4 essential, super high-frequency phrases that, honestly, once you start using them, you'll sound instantly more natural in English conversation.
That's exactly right. Think of this as a kind of rapid integration course.
Okay.
Our sources today are brilliant because they really zero in on expressions that cover, high emotion, critical everyday actions.
Right.
And they even correct a very, very common vocabulary mistake.
Yeah.
One that trips up, well, nearly everyone who's mastering the language.
Oh, I think I know which one you mean.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So if you want to bypass the textbook feel and get straight to sounding, well, real, pay attention.
So, okay, we've boiled it down to 4 key phrases you hear all the time. Walk out on, think back on, look up, and cut down on.
The essentials.
Let's get straight to the heavy stuff first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, let's unpack that first phrase, walk out on this one.
Yeah, it hits hard. It's almost always about sudden, emotional abandonment.
It really carries significant weight. The core meaning is to suddenly leave someone or something.
Suddenly.
Yes. And often in a disappointing or angry or just abrupt way. It's almost synonymous with abandoning a responsibility or a person.
You definitely hear it in conversations about major life stuff, crises even.
Yeah.
Our source material gave those classic kind of dramatic examples, right? Like, she walked out on the relationship after 6 years, or he was so fed up he walked out on his job right in the middle of his shift.
Oof. Yeah.
That phrase just implies a final, irreversible break.
And the key bit there is the prepositional phrase on, followed by the object being abandoned.
Right.
It's highly transitive.
Yeah.
Now, the nuance, and this is where maybe we distinguish it from something like walk away from,
Good call.
is that walk out on usually implies a sudden departure that causes distress to the person or thing left behind,
That distinction is interesting, yeah. Because if you walk away from a bad deal, it sounds measured, calculated maybe.
Exactly.
But if you walk out on a relationship, it just sounds impulsive, harsh even.
Precisely. And, while the emotional weight is often heavy, you can actually lighten it up a bit for everyday use.
Oh, how so?
Well, for example, if you're talking about, say, terrible service at a restaurant, you might say, the wait was just so long, we just walked out on the whole experience.
Okay, still quitting.
It's still quitting, still leaving abruptly,
Yeah.
just over a bad appetizer instead of, a 6-year relationship.
Got it. So bottom line, if you're describing quitting something suddenly, leaving it abandoned, walk out on is your phrase. It packs that punch, that drama and finality really efficiently.
Definitely does.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's shift gears from sudden quitting to more thoughtful remembering. Our next essential phrase is think back on.
Ah, yes. This one is everywhere, isn't it? Especially in storytelling. Reflection.
Absolutely. It means to recall or reflect on something specific from the past. It's not just, having a memory pop into your head. It's the active process of considering that memory.
Right, like you're choosing to revisit it.
Exactly. And the tone is usually quite nostalgic, or reflective anyway. It's like inviting someone, or maybe just yourself, to revisit a particular time or event. The examples we saw really show this tone perfectly. Like, when I think back on high school, I just laugh at how seriously I took everything. You see, it's an evaluation of the past, but from the safe distance of the present.
Yeah. Or if you're trying to prompt a memory in a chat, you might ask something like, think back on your childhood. What was your favorite thing to do on Saturdays?
Right. It's like a gentle nudge to the memory bank.
It is.
What's really interesting about this structure, I think, is that it's almost always used in that kind of storytelling mode. Really sets the scene.
Yeah, you're right.
You might start a story by saying, I often think back on that terrible road trip, and that immediately establishes, that this memory holds some significance and you're about to explore why.
It's so much richer than just saying, I remember, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Much richer.
It totally is. It gives that memory an active role right here in your present conversation. It suggests the memory has, shaped you somehow.
Precisely. When you think back on something, you're pulling it forward, examining it right now.
Okay, now we come to the phrase that, our source material really flagged this one, because this is where apparently nearly everyone makes a small but critical error. Look up.
Yes, this is the moment for the big aha correction.
Okay, lay it on us.
So, the definition itself. Pretty straightforward. To search for information. Usually using some kind of reference source, a dictionary, a book, the internet, whatever.
Right. Standard.
The problem is the grammar. Specifically, the grammar surrounding the object of the search.
Okay. And I know this mistake is just incredibly common. People often try to use it like other search verbs, maybe? Which leads them to say things like, I need to look up on the internet.
And that is the crucial error. Grammatically speaking, anyway.
Right.
You just never use the preposition on after look up when you mean searching for information.
Never. Okay.
Look up is what we call a transitive phrasal verb. It means it acts directly on an object, the object being the information you're seeking.
But hang on, why is look up on the internet such a common mistake then? Because, I mean, it sounds kind of logical if you're thinking about the place you're searching, right?
It does sound logical, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many other search-related verbs do use on. You click on a link, you browse on the web.
Right.
But when you're using look up, the action is directly on the information itself. So you have to put the object, the thing you're searching for, either immediately after the verb up or, importantly, sometimes in the middle.
Okay. Let's drill this. Give us some clear, correct examples.
All right. If the word or phrase is long, you put it after up, like your example. I had to look up the word anti-disestablishmentarianism in the dictionary.
Got it out. Okay. Long word goes after.
Perfect. Or, and this is key, if the object is short, like a pronoun it, them, this, you always put it in the middle between look and up.
Always in the middle for pronouns.
Always. So I didn't know that word. I had to look it up. Or can you look that address up for me? Or even just, can you look it up?
Okay. So never look up the address on Google, but rather, can you look up the address or look the address up?
Exactly. We generally assume where the looking up is happening from context. Usually Google these days, let's be honest.
That actually simplifies it so much. So the mantra is, you're looking something up. And you just don't need on after lookup when you mean searching.
Nail that one habit, get rid of the on, and bam, your conversational fluency just jumps up a level. Seriously.
Okay, fantastic. Got it. Look something up.
But wait, there's more. Just when you think you've got that rule locked down, there's the secondary meaning. Look up can also mean to improve or get better.
Right. This is where it gets really interesting because it's a completely different meaning, nothing to do with searching.
Totally different.
You might say something like, my finances were terrible last year, but things are finally looking up.
Meaning your circumstances are improving, getting better.
Yeah.
So you've got these two really distinct meanings. Searching for info with that strict grammar.
Look it up.
And then improving conditions. Things are looking up. Both extremely common, high-frequency phrases you need to know.
All right, let's move to our final essential phrase for today. Cut down on, this is definitely the language of moderation, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It's the language of, let's say, partial reduction.
Right.
And that's the key nuance here.
Partial reduction. Okay.
Cut down on means to reduce how much you use or consume or do something. And it's incredibly useful because, well, it applies to almost anything. Habits, money, general consumption.
We use this constantly, don't we? Especially like after New Year's resolution.
Or before beach season, yeah?
Exactly. The most common use is probably diet-related. I'm trying to cut down on sugar. Or I really need to cut down on late-night scrolling. Guilty.
Aren't we all? But the nuance here is crucial because people sometimes mix it up with cut out.
Right. Good point. Cut out versus cut down on.
Yes. If you cut out coffee, you stop drinking it completely. Zero coffee.
Yeah, elimination.
But if you cut down on coffee, you might just go from, say, 5 cups a day down to 2.
Yeah.
It implies a conscious, partial, or maybe gradual reduction, not total elimination.
That's a really powerful distinction. So you might cut out smoking entirely.
Hopefully.
But you'd probably cut down on spending because, well, completely eliminating spending isn't usually possible or desirable.
Exactly right. And we see it used all the time in financial contexts.
Yeah.
They cut down on monthly subscriptions to save money.
Very common.
Or in environmental discussions. The company is committed to cutting down on water usage. It's just the perfect sort of universal phrase for reducing quantity or frequency.
So basically, if you're aiming for moderation, if you want less of something in your life but maybe not zero, cut down on is the clear, direct phrase to use.
That's the one. You know, what's really fascinating here is seeing how naturally these phrases actually work together. They aren't just isolated vocabulary items you learn from a list.
No, not at all.
They're tools for telling real-life stories, real narratives.
Absolutely. Let's run through that integrated story again, the one from our source material, just so everyone can hear how all four phrases weave together in a, pretty realistic context.
Good idea. Listen for that flow.
Okay, here it goes. When I think back on college, I laugh at how broke I was.
Right. There's the reflection. Think back on.
I looked up ways to save money.
Just search. Looked it up, essentially.
And decided to cut down on eating out.
And the reduction. Cut down on.
I even walked out on a job that treated me badly.
And the dramatic quit. Walked out on.
And the conclusion is simple. Looking back, it was the right choice. I mean, that little paragraph, it tells a whole story arc using just these four essential phrases.
And the language just sounds immediate.
Yeah.
Realistic. Effortless almost.
Yeah.
And that is the goal of a deep dive like this one, isn't it? To give you the specific tools that add that immediate conversational texture. They aren't academic. They're action-oriented. Practical.
Okay, let's do a super quick review just to really cement these four essentials in your memory banks.
Good call.
First, walk out on. Means leave suddenly, abandon something, often with that emotional weight. Remember the on.
Crucial on.
Second, think back on. Remember and actively reflect on something from the past.
Nostalgia trigger.
Third, look up. Means search for information. And the crucial structure reminder, you look something up.
Look it up.
Never, ever, ever say look up on when searching, please.
Yes, please don't.
And finally, cut down on. Reduce the quantity or frequency of something, not necessarily eliminating it completely, just reduce.
Moderation is key, right? Now, knowledge is only really valuable when you apply it, right?
True.
So we want you to internalize these immediately. This week, maybe focus on applying these phrases in, say, 3 key areas of your own life.
Okay, like a challenge.
Yeah, a mini challenge.
Yeah.
First, identify one thing you genuinely want to cut down on this week. Could be screen time, caffeine, spending, whatever fits.
Okay, cut down on something.
Second, maybe dedicate just 5 minutes to seriously think back on a moment from the last year or even month that made you genuinely proud or happy. Really reflect.
Think back on something positive. Got it.
And third, the very next time you encounter a new word or need a fact checked, articulate the action out loud, even if just to yourself. Okay, I need to look that up.
Look that up. Nice.
Practice that correct structure.
Commit to using those 3 maybe just once or twice, and you'll find they start to feel really natural, really fast.
Exactly.
And look, as you navigate the week ahead, we sincerely hope that you don't encounter anything so negative that you feel the need to walk out on it.
Let's hope not.
Instead, keep that enthusiasm high. Keep learning.
And keep your English skills consistently looking up.
Ah, nicely done. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.